100 years ago. He wrote the book, Think and Grow Rich. And if you paid attention to that book, you understood that in chapter 17, or the key principle 17, he speaks about a mastermind. And this is something to really pay attention to, because if you have the ambition to become and be the highest form of expression you could ever be in this lifetime, and for you to really grow as a leader in this industry, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, as a human being, you got to understand how the most successful people on planet Earth has understood this world, and how we have seen a strategy that works. Doesn't matter what age, doesn't matter what generation in history, it works because it's according to universal laws. One of the most important rules of success is the mastermind. Instead of me explaining what it is, I want you to really pay attention what I'm about to share right now. I'm going to play a 1-minute video from Napoleon Hill, who was working with the richest people on planet Earth 100 years ago, following them for 20 years and taking notes on why certain people achieve success and why certain people don't. And this is something to really pay attention to. So listen to this, guys. From his mouth, what is a mastermind?
We come now to the second of the 17 principles which lead to the master key with which you may open the door to the attainment of your definite major purpose in life. This principle of success is called the mastermind principle. I want you to understand the nature of the mastermind principle, because you must use it before you can take possession of the master key. An understandable definition of the mastermind is this: it consists of two or more people who work in perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose. Now, here are some interesting facts about the mastermind which give you an idea of how important it is and how necessary that you embrace this principle and make use of it in attaining success in your chosen occupation. First of all, it is the principle through which you may borrow and use the education, the experience, the influence, and perhaps the capital of other people in carrying out your own plans in life. It is the principle through which you can accomplish in 1 year more than you could accomplish without it in a lifetime if you depended entirely upon your own efforts for success.
So I wanted to pay attention to that last thing. With the principle of the mastermind, you can achieve more in 1 year than you could potentially do in a lifetime if you were only relying on your own success, on your own resources, on your own ideas. So when you come together with like-minded people, when you come together with individuals that is on the same mission as you, when you create harmony and unity within a group of individuals, you create a higher energy which helps everyone to achieve more. So now, when we're looking at this mastermind principle, it is when more people, two or more people, come together with one definite purpose and a positive mental attitude. And what is happening is that a unbeatable force is created. Why is this? This is how the richest people on earth has always done it. And this is what we want to do. We have done it already, me, Danish, Naveed. That's why we are working together. But now we want to expand this into the community and into our teams and everyone's teams in this community. And this is when we come together, when individuals come together in a perfect harmony. What happens? Measurably, the energy is bigger. And what happens? Measurably, it becomes possible for individuals in that group to achieve more faster. This is one of the rules of this universe. It is when you come together in perfect harmony, faster things happen. Goals are achieved faster. And this is the whole purpose of what we want to do with this community, with this then mastermind on a weekly basis. It is to go deeper into the knowledge of this reality, is go to deeper into the knowledge of success, the secret and hidden information about this world and how to achieve success. It is for the first time that we are opening up and sharing things that we have been applying into our lives to get us to where we are right now. Now it's time to open up and share to the community. And that is going to be done once a week in the Den Mastermind. This is where we are going to come together, where we're going to create harmony, where we're going to create a definite purpose together. And this is where you're going to be able to draw energy, which is going to help you create more in a year than you can do in a lifetime if you would do it alone. So I hope the purpose of this is very clear, and the purpose of the Den Mastermind. And to break it down in key points for you, the purpose is to create a mastermind, a common unity, which then becomes a community where everyone is going to achieve more, much faster. We are going to go into expansion. This means network marketing skills, mindset skills, the deepest hidden skills of this world. It is about to understand the secrets of the highest achievers in this industry and in the world as a whole. We're all going to go into this over the coming many weeks ahead, months ahead. Every single week on a Saturday is the Den Mastermind. And of course, you need to come to these calls because there's a lot of updates happening every single week. This business is going to move faster than you could ever imagine, which means that for you to have the knowledge, for you to be a resource to your team, for you to have the information to be able to build in an effective manner, you need to come on these calls to be able to get a summary of what was the updates of the previous week, so you can move into the new week with purpose, with understanding, with new energy, with information and the knowledge, so you can really go out and create an impact. And as a leader, you need to have all the information. You need to know what is happening. You need to understand the changes. You need to understand the developments. You need to understand all of that. And that is going to put you in a position of a higher level of leadership. So this is very important to join these calls, and very important to invite your people to these calls, because this is going to become the culture of this community, where every single Saturday it is mandatory to come on this webinar. And this is not from me and Danish Naveed. This is because we wish when we started that someone did this for us. And if we had this kind of energy pot to come into every single week, I don't know where we would be right now. We had to draw from our own energy and draw from each other to build out what we have done. But here we create a ball of energy every single week. And that is going to continuously bring you this momentum forward, one step at a time. So when we are going into the depths of this, I'm going to continue here for just explaining to you a little bit about the latest news and updates. Before I bring in Danish, before I bring in Naveed, before we're doing a workshop at the end, guys, I'm going to do a workshop with you on how to achieve more in the coming year than in your lifetime. We're going to do a practical practice today, or a workshop. So do not really wait until the end, guys. It's going to be some powerful things. And Danish Naveed is going to go even deeper here in a second. But before that, it is important to start off with the news. This past week, we are seeing the growth of this company. We're seeing how Alex is expanding and getting ready. The company is having around 1,000 employees, and this is now growing. The company is getting ready. Alex is making sure everything is in place. Alex has started understanding that this launch is going to become bigger than he could imagine. And with that, he has to put the foundation in place. And aren't we grateful that this launch is happening on a 7-year-old infrastructure that has been stress tested, that has been built to be able to maintain this kind of momentum? And if this was a launch for a new company, I would be worried. I would be sweating, because there's so many things that can go wrong with something like this. But when you have a 7-year infrastructure, they have been covering and putting all pieces in place over the past 7 years to make sure that this is done in the most perfect and professional manner. With this, Alex has also understand that with the growth, what has happened, that there's come a lot of traders that has understood, okay, there's a lot of money to be made on this launch. And there's been a lot of traders developing bots and algorithms, which is unfair on the community, because many of you are feeling stressed that, okay, how am I going to benefit from this launch? Because I don't have the trading skills. I don't have the knowledge. I'm getting stressed. I don't want to miss out, but I don't want to do mistakes. And what Alex has seen is that there's some people that has been creating these bots and creating the, traders that is getting ready to be able to jump on the train when they launch the token on exchanges. And this would not be fair to the community, because some people would absorb a lot of the tokens and take advantage of the community. So what Alex is doing now, he's setting up a master plan to create a stabilized launch, which would allow everyone to have an equal opportunity to benefit from the launch. The details of this stabilized launch is going to be shared, but what you got to know for now is that you don't have to stress that you're going to miss out. You don't have to stress that you need knowledge, and you don't need to stress that a few people are going to take advantage of the rest. If this is not a testimony to Alex care for the community, I don't know what is. He could let it go like crazy, but Alex is someone who wants everyone to benefit and have equal opportunity, and not a few traders who have the knowledge. Even though he could benefit, a lot of top leaders and traders would benefit by having this crazy launch on the first day. But I was going to make sure it's stable, it is controlled, and it's fair for the whole community. And I think that is a beautiful thing to do. So that is something to keep in mind. And we're going to have a call later this week when more details have been shared, so you are ready for the launch. Now, there is also a talks that the farms and the minters is first going to be launched, and then a little bit later, the token is going to be launched. Why? It's going to give time for us to buy the farms and licenses, and then go ahead to step 2 and buy the tokens. All of this is going to be clarified, and Alex is working on this master plan right now, and this is going to be shared to the community on calls this week. So make sure that you join the calls this week to get all our information for the launch. Now, what else is Alex doing behind the scenes? Alex is talking to regulators, and this is something that made me really happy because this business is taking it seriously. We're about to go from a underground company. We're about to go on the world scene. We're about to be seen by everyone and everything. Alex is now in direct contact with regulators, and he is making sure that every single piece of information is attained by Alex. Everything has been cleared. Everything has been covered. And he is working with the regulators to make sure that we are maintaining the growth in a stable and in a legal and for a still explosive way going forward. So there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes, guys. There's big leaders onboarding. There's huge communities onboarding. All the leaders are coming back. Alex is expanding the infrastructure. Everything is getting ready for a fair play and stabilized launch. Regulators are being talked to because we are about to go to a new level, which we have never seen before. And with this, it is very important, guys, that we have things in order. First of all, something I'm urging you to do is to have all the information. Join calls, listen to recordings, take notes. Make sure you give the information to your teams. Make sure you are hosting your own team meetings with your inner circles to give them the information, to have discussions, and to create your own masterminds. We are here creating the big mastermind. You create your own mastermind with your teams. Have weekly calls with your teams. Create your inner circles. Share ideas, share success, share challenges. When you do this in a group of like-minded people, you will create your own little mastermind in your own teams. And when you duplicate this throughout your teams, you're building stronger organizations. And this is something that we are suggesting for all of you to do. Secondly, when the information is in place, it is now important to not only prepare physically, but then go up and prepare mentally. When you prepare mentally, I want to bring in my business partners here to share stories and experiences. But before I do that, I want to share a little bit what we mean by preparing mentally. You see, the coming year, you need to develop a new mindset. You need to now expand your goals, because when you're in a momentum phase, whatever goals you had before, we got to expand those. I'm going to take you through a workshop on how to create goals where you can achieve more in a year than in a lifetime at the end of this call. You got to prepare for what comes, whether that is the success. You can have fear of success. That is a thing, yes. You could have fear of failure. You could have fear of a lot of things. There could be challenges coming. You are now going out with excitement. And yes, we are all excited, but nothing is perfect. There will be challenges, and there will be a lot of course, challenges coming with a big launch like this. Are you mentally prepared for that? Are you ready to step up as a leader to make sure that when challenges appears, you are maintaining your power, your posture, and you are showing faith to your community so they can understand that, yes, we're on the right path. And this is something to keep in mind, because when we are looking at what has happened the last year, we have seen how this company has gone through ups and downs. We have seen through the challenges, many people leaving. but also we have seen through the challenges who is rising. And with the laws of the universe, when you are about to have expansion, you first need to go through challenges. When you've tested through the challenges, you are rewarded with the expansion. We have all been tested. We are still here. Now it's time for expansion. And that is why I want to congratulate all of you that's been a part of this or have come into this right now in this timing, because this is something that is going to be very rewarding for all of us. And this is something to remember when we go forward. When you meet the next challenges, do not see it as problems. See it as something to overcome, a test. Make sure you bring this with you and tell this to your teams. Because many people were asking us, why is it that the Den has been hosting webinars even when there was challenging times? How is it that on a Saturday, in the most challenging times of this company, we come with the same energy? You don't see any lack of energy. It is as if we're in a momentum phase. We're still there. We still have the energy. We still have the power to continuously hosting webinar every single week, no matter what, if it's ups or downs. I'm gonna bring on my business partner to talk about why that is. But also, I wanna ask you to ask yourself, why is it that me, Danish, and Naveed work together? And why have we decided to come together like this? All of this, I want to now expand on with Danish and Naveed to come in. Naveed is going to share his personal story on what is required and how life goes through challenges. And then Danish is going to come and expand even deeper. So with that said, Naveed, I invite you to share a few words to the community. And for those who don't know who Naveed is, if there's anyone to pay attention to and anyone to listen to, it is individuals that's gone through the bottom of the bottom and then rising like a phoenix to the top. When I've seen the story of Naveed and how he came from nothing and went to everything, and the story I have seen and followed with him when I was in the back of the room watching him on the big stages in front of thousands of people at the top of the industry, I was very inspired, and I've seen his journey from a kind of fan point of view when I was watching him as a fan, and seen him for the many years behind us. And every single thing that Naveed touches, every single project he has been a part of, every single launch he has done has been a massive achievement. And that is why I believe Naveed has really understood the principles of this success. And I'm learning from him every single day. And I want everyone to pay attention to what the story he's about to share. With that said, Naveed, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, Emil, and great to be here today, guys. We really love these sessions. It's actually giving us a lot of inspiration as well to go into these different topics, because it's a very nice reminder for yourself as well, to somehow remind yourself about the journey you've been doing, the lessons you've been getting, and the success that you have been celebrating. So as most of you probably don't know, I'm a carpenter from the beginning, and 2008 I got a question from my colleague that started to draw circles on the walls and try to start explaining network marketing. And he wanted to explain me about a company named Amway that probably many people know about. I didn't understand anything because this was this guy's first ever presentation, and he did circles on a board. So it was very, very hard to grasp. But I came to a presentation with a PowerPoint and everything, and I immediately felt something. I felt vision. I felt, like, wow, this is just so smart. This concept is just okay. If I like something, everybody will of course recommend their friends and family about this, and we can grow this together. There was a lot of things I felt. I went to a big weekend seminar 2 weeks later, and it was like 2,000-3,000 people there. And I think that's the first time I really allowed myself to start dreaming, to start getting a vision, to really understand. I didn't understand it at the time, but I actually went home and made a dream board. These boards where you go into magazine, you cut and you paste and you really make it a dream board, extremely visual for yourself, putting it in your bedroom or in your office or wherever, so you really see this dream board, or on your refrigerator, even better, where I really saw this every single day. And then, this dream board eventually went into the closet, and a few years later I found this, and I will come back to that. But of course, in Amway as well, I actually met my wife, and it was a 5-year long story. But I never really got the success I was striving for, because there was, of course, a lot of factors that was the reason for this, because I wasn't ready for it. I hadn't grown enough. But what I really got from Amway was vision. I learned myself how to really be able to see somehow and feel somehow, the end result. And I think that's very, very important. So during my Amway time, the last years when I was working with Amway, I also felt I wanted to start a traditional business. So I thought what's best is not to start one. Why not buy a traditional business? So I went to friends and family and collected a lot of money for me, because me and my wife, we had to do that because we didn't have money to actually be able to buy this business. We looked through it and we bought it. But with no prior experience, we never had 10 employees before, and a lot of different circumstances around, this business went bankrupt. And I actually had to file for bankruptcy 1 week after we got our first child. So you can imagine that year where you just saw how everything was just being worse, 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 worse every single day going to work. And you just know that this is a sinking ship and it's sinking really fast. But we lost everything. It was almost on the even on the edge of personal bankruptcy. It went really, really far. And for me, just a newborn child, first child, a lot of new things coming into the picture, a lot of new emotion coming into the picture. I just realized, okay, I have a decision to make. Either I go back to carpentry. I knew it would take me approximately, a lifetime to pay back the 200,000 euro I actually owned friends and family and banks and so on. And then I had a choice to maybe go back to sales that I actually had tried as well, which was working quite well, or network marketing. I knew that I didn't have the result I really needed to be able to do something, in this industry to really be able to pay that money back and of course thrive financially as well. But I knew I had some kind of skills. And, a few months prior to this bankruptcy, I met some other people that actually managed to get me from my extreme focus on Amway to actually come and look at something else. And what I saw there was another set of people, another set of community with a different set of mindset that I could actually relate to. So what I did when we were in this really bad situation, we took a decision. Okay, I took a decision. I took a decision that I'm going to give everything I have in network marketing. Because if I can break the key, if I really can lock up the lock, I know that there is money to be made. And so I found these new surroundings, I found this new community, and for me that was amazing, because it was almost like a new energy boost, which really filled me with a lot of with a lot of confidence actually. And there was new networks coming into the picture. We had same goals, we had same vision, big visions, but of course, being quite new in business, being quite naive as a young person as well, many times, of course, I went into many traps. I went into a lot of, crooks that literally stole my money and other people's money. And, for me, I just realized, okay, I really need to really go from zero to hero. And I actually managed to do that. I hoped that I could do it in 1 year, but literally after 2 years, that debt was completely paid off because I really focused on network marketing. There was no other option for me. It was my option. It was my solution. And the journey that I've been in this industry have been absolutely amazing. Of course, guys, this is a really short version, just like your life story. There is a lot of details coming into the picture that is really, coloring your personality. It's really coloring your character, your ethics, your morale, where you kind of fine-tune who you want to be and become, moving forward. And it's been a massive, massive life lesson, I would say. During this journey, it's been a lot of successes. It's been a lot of money lost. It's been really tough decisions. But one thing that I think is super important is to love your circumstances, to try at least to appreciate your circumstances, because everybody has circumstances. No matter who you are, where you're from, if you're privileged, if you're not privileged, everybody have circumstances. And I think it's so important to really love and try to really love the process of everything and understand that you have to focus on the solution. Because what I did sometimes, guys, of course, I was not the perfected person that could only focus on the solution all the time. No, it's really hard to do that when you get like tax bills coming into your email, to your mailbox every single day, debts that needs to be paid. It's so easy to just stare down at these minus signs that you need to, payment overdue, it needs to be paid ASAP and so on. After a while, I just realized it doesn't help me to look at these bills. So after a while, I became really emotionless, very detached from the emotions with these letters. And when I actually was able to detach myself from these letters, I really was able to focus on the solution. And the solution is usually financially, when we're looking at life circumstances and, paying bills and all that stuff, because money is such a central point in our life. Unfortunately, this is how it become. But of course, we need to just adapt. So all these different life lessons that we get, guys, I think is so important that we also appreciate, even though if it's really tough things, because we get understanding. For me, I think one of the biggest keys for me in network marketing and actually being able to succeed in this industry is all these lessons, because I'm now able to connect with people on a different level that have difficulties, that is maybe stuck, that have all these different emotions attached to them. The journey for me in the beginning in Amway was so much anxiety attached to it, guys. Go out and prospecting people. I was sweating. I was stuttering. I was not myself to do that. It was not in my natural comfort zone at all. But, to just push yourself a little bit outside of these boxes that we are, put into and really, somehow been molded down into don't go outside of this wall because it's unsafe. As soon as we dare to bring out the hammer and start knocking down this wall, we really can start to grow. We really can start to thrive financially, personally, and every single aspect that you would like to. So, after a while, after 8 years, I had to take a very tough decision. And this is approximately 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. No, actually 3 years ago, approximately. I broke up with my business partner that I actually had for 8 years. And for me, this is the best decision I've ever made, because the partnership had become very toxic, very negative, very manipulative, a lot of lies into it. And for me to really leave that environment, even though if it was a risky financial decision, it's the best thing I've ever done. Really was. Because it opened up another door. And what I want to have said with this is, sometimes you need to close a chapter to be able to open a new one. And I'm soon coming to the best chapter in my life, in my personal career when it comes to business. Those 8 years of partnership was just a lot of learning, a lot of great memories from it. A lot of, really good things coming out from it. But for me, that breakup was actually having the courage to grow even further. And, sometimes we really need to take that step as well. So for me, the new circle became something very unique and special. The new circle. So during all these years, maybe some of you have heard Emil talk about Emil coming into my business, looking up to me when like this is like 8 years ago or something, actually, you know, and we've been, of course, following each other because Emil became what do you say? When you see how beautiful things he creates, right? With Emil, help me. What graphic designer? Sorry, there it is. He became a graphic designer and started to do graphic designs to multiple different networkers around the world. And also we started to follow our journey. We had mutual friends, which was very close to us as well. So we got to know each other over the years. And after my breakup, I started to open up my tentacles, you know, I started to open up my antennas and, you know, looking around, who can I start to really, you know, do something together with. And one day I saw Emil put up on Instagram that he's going to Dubai. He didn't say why, didn't say anything, but I just got a very strong feeling in my gut that he have a new business coming his way. So I texted him immediately and asked, okay, are you going there for business? What's happening? Let's do something together. So, and he said, yes, actually I am going for business. I've been invited for an event. And let's have a look and let's see what it is. So he went there and we connected afterwards. And I think both of us really have felt along the way that there is a connection in terms of energy and understanding towards each other. And that friendship also grew more and more and more. But it was just something, I don't know, it was not really a decision, but it was just something that was there where we kind of knew, okay, this partnership will work. Because we had understandings towards each other, we had respect towards each other. I understand that he is from a younger generation, 10 years younger, which means as well, he grew up with technology from day one. I didn't, so I'm a little bit slower on some topics. I had more experience from network marketing than he did, but he had new, very nice, fresh ideas. So, you know, we really found each other very quick. So we went into this business, and this is quite interesting, guys, because this is only 1.5 years ago. And all of you know that we only been in this business for 1 year. So we actually went into this business and started to explore it. And Emil started to tell me about Danish. Obviously, I knew who he was. I never actually met him. I never actually talked to him, but I knew who he was. And Emil told me about this guy. And literally, guys, he sounded like a saint. And I was like, okay, this guy, Emil is selling this guy really hard. Maybe he's a little bit too good to be true, right? And first time I met Danish was actually in Bucharest in Romania, where we actually went there all together for an event. And immediately I felt, wow, he was so calm. He was so collected. He felt really wise. He felt so perfectly genuine. And it was something there. It really was. But me and Emil had started the partnership. Emil tried to, you know, really get him into this tree of the partnership as well. And we decided, okay, let's try it out. But quite fast, we realized that, okay, this isn't maybe the route we should take, because we started to do the real calculation and understood that the basics and economics of the compensation plan and the changes that came immediately after we came in changed to the fact that, okay, we cannot really excel financially in this company. But this is the funny thing. And this is the moment where I knew that the three of us really applied the mastermind principle. And this was when we were all in Dubai. We were actually about to have a coffee and we met up on this coffee place. And I felt that I needed to bring something up. So I brought up that I said, guys, I really think we need to explore what's out there because I don't think this business is for us. And the funny thing is that Emil and Danish said, this is so funny because we were just talking about this right before we came to this table. And that moment I knew that we are very just really on the same frequency. And we really know exactly what direction we want to walk to. So what I want to try to communicate to you guys here, you all know that we are working together. We are one team. We are one business. We are one partnership. What we really found there was and is and continuously is the mastermind principle. And the first time I heard about the mastermind principle was on my first seminar with Amway 15 years ago. It works. It really does. But you need to find people around you, just like I did when I changed my environment. I changed company. I left Amway after 5 years. It was a really tough decision. I felt that I was letting my sponsors down and the company down. But in the end, I was just giving myself love and understanding for my circumstances that I really needed to move on. But your surroundings is so important, because the mastermind principle doesn't have to be an actual business partnership in the sense that you guys are having like split economy. No, not at all. Mastermind principle is finding like-minded people in your business that you can hook up, you know, and really walk the path together. You guys can have dream nights. You can meet. You have like you sit down. You have a nice drink together, or you know you order a pizza. You have a dream night. You do dream boards. You talk about your future, what you want to accomplish. Start feeding your mind, start feeding, and maybe do these things with the right people in your business, because that's when you're starting to develop a very, very deep relationship and understanding for each other's circumstances and each other's goals. And it can take you to a completely new level in your business. Don't look at the people working in the partnerships and as like I said, split financial, account. No, it doesn't have to be that way. What you just need to do is find the like-minded people where you can meet up. You meet in a hotel lobby and you just crank calls every single day. This is really what broke my code, guys. My code in network marketing was given to me when I just stopped thinking about my personal ability in this industry. When I understood that I had connection with other people who wanted the same thing, every single day I woke up after that, I didn't have anxiety waking up every single day. I did this, guys. While my 5 years in Amway, I had anxiety, true anxiety, every single morning I woke up, really. But as soon as I found this principle and understood this principle, because I never did that in Amway, but when I found these right people that I connected with, those calls became automatic. It became robotic. It became really inspiring for the people I talked. The closing rate was extremely high because my expectations of closing was extremely high, because I knew I was backed up by people that liked me, by people that work together with me. And you just need to find that energy and an exchange of energy with a few people. If you don't have one yet, you do it with yourself. Yes, Emil said in the beginning, yeah, to do it yourself. But somewhere you need to start to find these people that you actually can produce a mastermind with. But I'm more than sure you don't need a person in your downline either. It can be an upline, guys, somebody that you're working with. Maybe your sponsor can be that mastermind person that you need to connect with and really walk forward with. So for me, it was a really, really great treasure for me to find Emil, to find Danish. It was a magical, for me, I think it was a meant to be happening for us. It's been one of the most rewarding experiences in my life this past year. And the reason is because we have so much respect for each other. We listen to each other. We take in each other in the way where we really, and guys, don't believe for a second that we are not disagreeing sometimes. But I love the fact that we are, because we just accept the fact that we have and we come from different circumstances, and that's the power. So please remember this when you sit with someone that maybe have a completely different mindset than you. Try to see it from their perspective. It will give you such relief in your business. It will give you such result in your business, where you understand that your way is not the only way. When you understand that many people have different circumstances, different things that really color them as people. You need to connect on these points. You need to ask questions. You need to communicate in the right way. You need to bring out your posture in a way that is inviting. There is so much to it, but once you actually start being yourself, I think this is the main key. When I was in Amway, I tried to copy people that was 55, 60 years old, even 70 years old, that was so successful. They were walking around with their portfolio and suits and tie. And I was going to people's living room in a suit and tie. How much do you think I connected with people? I was not being myself as a young individual. So remember, you need to be yourself, because the people around you that you are approaching will feel if you are genuine or if you're trying to copy something else. So remember this as well. So the mastermind principle really works, guys. This really just worked out for us. It became Danish, Emil, and Naveed. And the core values that we want to really apply in this business is brotherhood, relationship first, empowerment for the community, for ourselves, unity, attitude, and lead from the heart and not from your head. So guys, this is my very, very, very compressed story. There is a lot more, of course, to bring out, but we don't have so much time to do that. It's, of course, very personal to share these things. There is so many life lessons that have been taught and learned from my side. And if there is anything of this that helped you now, I really hope so. That's something, and one specific topic maybe. But remember this, guys, your circumstances is not your reality. The solution and what you're doing about the circumstances and actually how much focus you give to the solution will be your reality. Work in the present. Don't focus on how it's been. Don't focus on how little you have. Work in the present moment. Work right now. Right now I have this meeting. Right now I have this call. Right now the only focus is to get the result from this call. Right now the only result I need to get is the closure of this call. Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you can get by actually bringing action, focus into the picture, and do the work. And it will do magic for you. You will eventually find the different keys to unlock to really become as successful as you are. But know this, guys, you are not the final product as you're sitting right now. You can become so much more if you want. And there is people out there that can complement your weaknesses with strength. So remember this as well. And please put your ego aside. Ego will never help you. Ego will never do anything productive for you. Ego will never help you in any way. Put that aside and just go out there with a lot of love, with a lot of understanding for other people. And I promise you will get a bigger result. And remember, listening sometimes can be much more powerful than talking. Asking questions can be much more powerful than telling. And with those words, I'm leaving over to Emil again. Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank you so much, Naveed, for this deep personal story. From going through challenges, making a decision, following through on a decision, doing tough decisions again to be able to get out of a toxic environment, to then find something that suits him even better, and having the courage to do that. Guys, take notes of these things, how that led to a mastermind, and this, we want to inspire others to create your own masterminds. This is amazing. Thank you so much, Naveed. And I also want to bring on Danish right now. And, you know, before I bring on Danish, and sometimes when we speak about Danish, we speak about, of course, him being at the top of the top, leading huge organizations in master distributed roles and always being a leading figure. But what I really believe is the reason that so many people is willing to follow Danish leadership is when you are in a storm and everything is moving and everything is changing, what you're looking for is that one solid, steadfast point that you can hold on to that doesn't move by the storm. And if there's anything Danish has brought into not only my life, but into the community and this leadership and this constellation, is that steadfast way of looking at things, that anytime we are worried, and me and Naveed are sometimes emotional, we go to Danish and he grounds things, and he makes us understand the vision, and he brings us back into motion, and we get calm. So if there's anything that I really believe is bringing Danish to the highest level of leadership, is his way of being steadfast throughout all situations. And this brings a lot of value to this business and to life in a whole. So Danish, I'm going to open up for you to take on the floor and share from your perspective a little bit more on all of this.
Thank you so much, Emil. Thank you so much, Naveed, for sharing such personal stories and such personal, how can I say, factors in your life. And I really hope and pray, we've got over 400 people on this call. I hope and pray that every single one of us on this call understand that when we are giving ourselves personally to you guys, the purpose of doing that is not to show how great we are. No, not at all. If you think that, then you're totally missing the point. Actually, it's the complete opposite. It's about talking to you about our life experiences and making sure that throughout our journeys, there's something that we say that applies to you and your teams that join these calls. And thereafter, you can go away and create something positive. And like what we heard, in the beginning of this call, it's about Mastermind. It's about coming together as a collective and producing something so unbelievably powerful in such a short space of time that in your entire lifetime, that was not going to ever be possible. I mean, that is so powerful in its own, guys. And that's exactly what we're trying to do over here. So I'm gonna go in straight from the concept of unity. I'm gonna go in straight from the concept of building this business with its challenges. I am not from a network marketer's background. I'm actually from the background of a traditional businessman. And when we look at traditional business versus looking in and peering into the network marketing space, we always focus on the times where there are challenges and how is it that we deal with those challenges and find solutions. So coming from that background, when I see companies go through challenges or when I see, situations of challenging moments, for me, this is an opportunity for us to express how good we are and how quick we are to find those solutions. So that, in essence, has been the story of my life. All of the failures have brought me to the place that I am today. And no, we don't have enough time to go through this. Maybe next week, we will have a little bit of time to really dig deeper into the personal stories. But I want to come to you guys today with a few concepts. The first concept being, in this journey of ours over the past year, we have built this business on the way down, in essence, if that's how people want to look at it. Now, you need to understand, and we all need to understand on this call, that when you are building a business through challenging times, that is when it tests the relationship, not only of your partnership, but also of your entirety of the team. And coming with a calm, cool, and collected posture through any challenging time is exactly what every single one of us need to understand and adopt, because that is the only way for you to build a long-lasting, sustainable, successful business. So this is where our relationship started. And why are we explaining this to you? Because it's important you understand that every single business, no matter whether it is in this fraternity or any other fraternity, be it traditional or in the MLM space, every single business has its challenges. But here's the point. Those of you guys that have got a piece of paper and pen, please write this down. Search for the net positive in any scenario, circumstance, and business. Because life is about the net positive. There is no such thing as a perfect scenario. You are completely misled and you are disillusioned if you feel like you're going to come into some kind of an opportunity and there's this perfect scenario and wow, everything's built around me. And it's almost like this thing was made for me. No, there is no such thing that exists like that, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. You've got to search for the net positive. That is my traditional business background, and that is what I applied to this scenario over here. And guess what? Lo and behold, the cryptocurrency space in its own is a very lonely space for us to be in. It's very lonely, guys. There is no guiding force to tell you what to do out there. You sit there, you watch YouTube videos, you look at the charts, you look at your exchanges, you see different coins, you see different projects being launched, you see ICOs, etc., etc., etc. What does one do after all of that? Who's the guiding force? Who's the person that actually sits there and says, do you know something? Hey, I'm here for you. I've got a solution for you. So long as you focus on the net positive and you understand that there are going to be challenges and bumps in the road and spanners in the works, We will get there in the end because I have a little bit of knowledge in this field. I have this knowledge that I've built over the past 7 years and even longer. Come join me. But it's not going to be easy. Okay? I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy. So long as you focus on the net positive, which, like I said, this is what I have learned with my failures and experiences. And yes, to fail is to succeed. Write it down. To fail is to succeed. When you fail, celebrate that thing. People think that life is doom and gloom, just like what Naveed said. Your circumstances right now are not what your future is going to tell you or do for you. You, in your own, have to dig deep and go through that mastermind process of finding the group of like-minded people who believe in the abundance. Because the more you give, the more you receive, right? When you believe in that, that is when miracles genuinely happen. But we call them miracles. Actually, you've worked for them. Actually, you've developed the mindset for accepting that miracle. Actually, you've surrounded yourself with the like-minded people that you need to be surrounded by to actually succeed in life. So coming back to this space being a lonely space of cryptocurrency, why is it so attractive to us? Why is it that we built this business on the way down and now we're going to see big times in 2023? Why? The reason why is because we know where we're going. And we know we have abundance as our middle name. And we know we want to share because sharing is caring, right? But at the same time, we know we also have a very good captain of the ship here. And we know he's already planned and identified the expectations of what we need to see going forward to say, you know something, we're going to get there, guys. We are going to get there. But I never said it's going to be easy. We need to develop a calloused mindset when we conduct ourselves, particularly after this call, because something big is about to come. There is a launch that's about to take place. And you need to understand that coming together with your team and forming a mastermind and focusing on the net positives and expecting the challenges from day one allows for you to already assume the success. It's just a case of you now traveling that journey to get there. It's as simple as that. When your mind is ready, all right, everything is easy. All is well. Everything becomes something of the past. Your expectations, when you are always going into a scenario whereby you're expecting the worst, that is exactly how you need to deal with every single scenario. Why? Because your focus should be that net positive. So with that being said, guys, I just want to end off with this last point because we're almost on the hour. And it's very important for us as a community here in this business to understand the following. One, if you have knowledge, if you have skills, go out there and do everything that you possibly can to go and share that knowledge and those skills. That's the reason why we sit here every Saturday, literally delivering what's in our minds and what's in our past. Why are we doing this? Because we want to make sure we find like-minded people out there, even if they resonate with 1 out of the 10 points that we've just made. Great, because if that one bonds us and binds us together, fantastic. That's exactly what we need to flow through with the year of 2023, because this year is a big year. And I know a lot of us who may have partners, who may have wives, who may have husbands, who may have boyfriends and girlfriends. And, you know, we're always operating with this, you know, togetherness. We're always telling them, no, this is my year. This is my year. No, believe me, I know I said that last year and the year before and the year before and the year before and the year before, but this is my year. The moment you step into the zone where you start believing that, that's when, because of the manifestation, things will actually happen. My urge to every single one of us today is to make sure we step into that zone, because something big is about to come our way. And let us make sure that we plan and strategize and lay the foundations for that accordingly. Number 3, we are going to do everything that we possibly can to give you as much value as we possibly can. But my question to every single person on this call is, how much value are you going away and giving to your communities? How much value Are you taking, based on what we are explaining on this call today, absorbing and then going away and sharing it so that we can create a world of abundance? Number 4, please, for the love of God, do not place money as your priority. More so in this business, particularly if you are building the business professionally as a network marketeer, or even better, a relationship marketeer. Focus on empowering the person that you are talking to. Focus on their why. Focus on their goals. Focus on their success plan. When you focus on that and you make it something that is so paramount for you to achieve, you will find money is a byproduct. Focus on that, ladies and gentlemen. And then finally, number 5, please make sure you understand the concept of when it is that you fail, you are making sure your mindset becomes even stronger, only to rebound to become a much bigger, better, wiser, stronger person who definitely will succeed in their why and their goals. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed the mastermind call, and we hope and pray that you have taken these notes down and you duplicate this information. You go away and you share it with your teams, and you tell your teams to join these calls. The calls are for you. We know our story. We already know it. We're telling you and communicating this so that it benefits you, and you go out there and you spread the message. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to hand over back to Emil to end off this brilliant webinar.
Thank you so much, Danish, for those incredible points. And going forward with what you said about manifesting and now putting this into practice, I want to end off with a workshop, and we're going to call this the Goal Manifestation Workshop. This is just going to take a few minutes, but this is going to expand your mind to a completely new horizon. So what I want you to do is to get a pen and paper, and I want you to, first of all, write down 1 year at the top of your paper. And I want you guys to just do this right now, because writing it down and actually physically doing this is going to allow you to manifest it faster. It is one of the other principles from Napoleon Hill, where it is about writing down your goals and getting them on a paper is gonna increase the probability of it happening. It's almost like a universal law. If it comes on paper with belief, then it has to happen. So let's do it right now, so we are ready for the coming year. So if we write down 1 year on the paper, and a little bit further down, we write a goal. I'm just gonna use the dollar sign and money goal as a goal. Whatever it is that you want to achieve in 1 year, whether it is money or any other thing that defines your goal, write it down. So you put 1 year, and then further down, not right under, further down, you put a dollar value or a goal or whatever it is that you want, 10 leaders that you help free or whatever it is. And make a goal that is big enough to excite you. So it has to be something that you have never done before, but it has to be small enough for you to believe in it. So if you're telling me that you're going to make $5 billion in the coming 1 year, and you never made $10,000, then it's not going to really inspire you. If you made $2,000 in a month at a maximum, okay, let's say $20,000 in a month. It is possible, because we have thousands of people in this company already doing that, $20,000 per month. But it's still making you a little bit nervous when you're thinking about that number, because it's something where your mind has never been experienced to. You've never been at that level of frequency before. So when you're moving up there, it's like, it's getting a little bit nervous. That is a good goal. But you still believe it's possible, and the belief doesn't have to come from you. It comes from these thousands of people in this company already making that. There's people in the company who made up $10 million in a day. Okay, if a person can make in 1 day $10 million in this company, I believe that whatever goals you have is possible, no matter what number you're putting down here. So when you're done with that, you put down your number, you're putting down your goal, it's time to expand. And I now want to put a line over the 1 year. So remove that 1 year or put a line over that 1 year. Why is that I'm telling you to do this? Because we talked about expanding our minds, going outside our comfort zones to do something we have never done before with the support of the mastermind. Whatever you can achieve in the coming year is something that you could never achieve in a lifetime. So if we're not talking about whatever you can achieve in a year, what about making that a 90-day goal? What if instead of 1 year, you're looking at that number right now and we're telling you to achieve it within 90 days? Now that nervousness is arising a little bit more, we're now feeling a little bit more stressed. We are feeling a little bit more encouraged to go and make calls. We're feeling a little bit more urgency inside of our minds and our hearts right now. And that urgency is that little spark which is going to get you to take that action, which you wouldn't do if the goal was 1 year away. Because you said, I can wait 6 months and then get to work. No, now you have to start today, because in 90 days, if your goal was $20,000 per month, whatever it is, then it is going to happen in 90 days. And if you believe and you put it on paper, then it's going to happen. And I want to take it one step further, guys. I'm not going to reduce it to less than 90 days, but we're going to put a line over that as well. Now I want to take you guys to the biggest secret ever within personal success. This is the deepest of the deepest secrets on how to achieve success in this world. And that comes from not seeing the goal being achieved in the future. It is about understanding that you have to become your goal today. If your goal is to become a millionaire at the end of the year, that then become a 90 days, you have to now transition from having the millionaire in the future to bringing it into present moment. You have to rise in frequency by becoming a millionaire in mind and heart today. No matter, like Naveed said, if it's outside a reality or not. How you manifest in this reality is that when you are walking, talking, thinking, behaving, feeling like a millionaire, even though it is not available in your circumstances. And your eyes is going to tell you every single day that this is not a reality, but you got to make sure that you're not looking with your eyes, but you're looking with your mind, you're looking with your heart. And when you are walking, talking, behaving, thinking, feeling like a millionaire, your vibration is going to rise, your frequency is going to rise. What's going to happen? You're going to attract the right people, you're going to attract the right opportunity, you're going to attract whatever you need to achieve that. So I want you guys to leave this call going into that feeling, to close your eyes and visualize what it's like to have that. If it is being a millionaire, close your eyes and visualize what it's like to be a millionaire. How would you walk, talk, and behave? How is it that you would greet people? What kind of energy would it come into cause? How would you close people? How would you coach people? How would you go and do the things that you're about to do now in the coming week? If you are talking to people as if you are a millionaire already, not in a way of like, oh, I'm better than you, but in a humble, collected, knowing inside what you are, and then talking with that calm, collected power and certainty. That in itself is more powerful than any skills in network marketing you will ever learn. It is not what you say, but how you say it. And that comes from integrating your goals into the reality, into the present moment. So guys, I want you to walk away from this call knowing this, to now use this information to go deep, to expand your goals, take it a little bit higher, start believing it's possible. We are crazy enough to believe that, that we can conquer the whole world. That's why we are working so hard, so much together. We believe, and we are manipulating ourselves to believe, and then it happens over and over again. And this is something that I'm inviting you to do as well, if it's resonating with you. So with that said, let's go out and let's completely explode the coming 90 days. Let's make this incredible launch. Let's remind ourselves what Naveed said. what it means to make a decision, follow through on the decision, have the courage to break through from your circumstances, and then move into the future, and then surround yourself with the right people. To remember what Danish said about always understanding that there will be challenges and a lot of problems going forward. But if you redefine what a problem is and say this is success, and you stand steadfast in times of challenges, in times of adversity, and you keep faith and trust that it will play out in the perfect way, we're just being tested, you are going to build a stronger organization, and your organization is going to fall when challenges happen. It's going to rise. So with that said, we hope you guys have enjoyed the Mastermind call today, the first within Mastermind. We hope that you guys is gonna make sure you bring this energy with you. And if there's anything I can ask you to do is to share your feeling from this webinar in our Telegram group, in our Telegram forum. So you can share this feeling you had of today's call, so we can get some feedback on if it was good, if it was something that you feel can get better, whatever it is, just share your feeling. If it was a incredibly impactful call, then share it into our groups, share it in your groups, let people know what we did here today. So next time we have the double amount of people. With this said, we love you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time on this Saturday morning. We look forward to a world of expansion, and your world is going to expand, your mind of expansion, and we look forward to the coming 90 days, guys. Take care, have a beautiful weekend, and let's get ready for the biggest launch in history next week. Take care.